Ever since Superman dropped, I've seen hella discourse, hella conversation online on what is and what isn't canon in James Gunn's DCU compared to the DCEU, and I'm pretty sure people are just overthinking this, or they're just trolling. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't think it's that complicated. So in this video, I just want to go over what I am 99.9% sure, like some hand sanitizer, is a part of James Gunn's DCU canon. Now I'm sure most of you already know, and if you don't know, kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie to you, but James Gunn's first DC project was the Suicide Squad back in 2021, not to be confused with the version that dropped in 2016, which is, this version is supposed to be like a light sequel to that, kind of, but I'm gonna be honest, ignore that shit. It's trash anyway. It has nothing to do with the new DCU whatsoever, except there's like a couple characters that go from that movie into this one. Now here's where it gets a little confusing, because I wouldn't say the Suicide Squad is canon to the DCU. I would say there's characters in the Suicide Squad that are canon to the DCU. And since there are characters that are canon to the DCU, there's a couple of events in this movie that I think are also canon, but not everything. Like obviously Amanda Waller being the leader of Argus, the one that creates Task Force X, that is canon. And the same thing goes with John Cena's Peacemaker offing Rick Flag Jr. That is also canon as hell. Other than that, I wouldn't say anything else is canon to the DCU. Everything else is canon to the DCEU, you feel what I'm saying? But those characters that I'm about to speak of and the couple of events that I talked about, those also continue in the DCU, you feel what I'm saying? But in my opinion, I think that Rick Flag Jr., obviously Amanda Waller, Weasel, King Shark, and John Cena's Peacemaker are obviously in the DCU are canon. But there's two characters that I think could potentially be canonized, and we'll see down the line, and that's going to be Bloodsport, except for, you know, him shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet, because that makes no sense, because he lost his first fight ever 3 years ago. I guess he didn't have to technically lose that fight against Bloodsport, but yeah, I think he has the potential to be canon. To the surprise of absolutely nobody, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, I think she's more likely than not going to be this universe's Harley Quinn, but you never know. Let's lead straight into Peacemaker Season 1, which I feel like this is the easiest one to understand out of all the complicated things. The Suicide Squad gets a little complicated because you got to kind of like pick and choose. With here, it's simple. Everything that happens in this season is canon to the DCU, except for the cameo from you-know-who at the end of Season 1. Still can't believe this cameo even happened, to be honest. When it happened in time, in real time, I was like, what the hell? But yes, ignore Ezra Miller's Flash, ignore Jason Momoa's Aquaman showing up, and especially ignore any mention of the Justice League in this season. Like all the Aquaman fucking fishes jokes, ignore those. Those aren't real, those aren't canon. I feel like this should be pretty simple, should be pretty easy. Just watch the whole season, ignore the last scene, and anytime Peacemaker brings up like Batman or Superman or anything, just realize he's not talking about this version. Yeah, then it gets pretty easy from there, because we go straight into Creature Commandos, which gives us some of those characters that I mentioned before, like Rick Flag Sr. We get Weasel in here. Spoiler alert, but at the end of the season, we get King Shark as joining the team. A few of those characters did move over from the Suicide Squad into this, which is the first real project in the DCU. It also keeps this major plot point from Peacemaker Season 1 with Amanda Waller's daughter, her own blood. That's crazy. Her daughter exposing the fact that she created Task Force X and how fucked up that was, which led to Task Force M getting created with the monsters and Creature Commandos. And it's part of the reason why Rick Flag Sr. is the leader of Argus and Superman instead of Amanda Waller. Not only that, but it also keeps the Weasel storyline going as well. We know that he offed 27 kids, but we get to see what really happened, and this is one of the best episodes. If you haven't watched Creature Commandos, you gotta at least peep this episode, not gonna lie. And that leads straight into Superman, which we've all seen now. We know what the DCU is. This is what makes it feel live, feel lived in. This is everything. This is canon. And that's what will bring us straight into Peacemaker Season 2, where we get to see what else is canon from Season 1, what is, and we get to see how James Gunn explains the Justice League cameo, because I feel like he's gonna probably make it a joke or something. I don't know. We're gonna see, but we're deep in the DCU now, folks. But yeah, I hope if you're confused about what's canon and what's not, that was able to clear it up a little bit. And if it wasn't, I'm sorry I just wasted your time. I'm not gonna lie, you're not gonna get those 4 minutes back. How do y'all feel about this whole DCU, DCEU canon stuff? Do you think it's confusing? Do you think it's not? I don't think it's that confusing, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's pretty simple. He just wants to keep some characters around that were actually good characters in the DCU. I don't blame him. But yeah, man, I'm trying to hear y'all opinions in the comments down below. For real, because you know we gotta talk about it. Simple.